This meeting is being recorded.
What is going on, guys? I am here with Andres, who is going to be interviewing what's working with some of these agents who are using the cloud process and it's working for them. So if you want to join us, if you want to see what is going on in our world, join us live and ask your questions here. Meetcloudrealty.com. Meetcloudrealty.com. See it. Start doing a little bit
John,
of coding. My man, how we doing?
can you hear me, sir?
I got you. Lima Charlie, as we used to call it in the Marine Corps. Loud and clear.
Outstanding. Welcome back to What's Working Wednesdays. It's incredible. I like how we put this together over the past 2 weeks and how we continue to build and get traction into every individual day here. So excited to continue to be part of this. Excited to continue to bring more agents together, bring value, and see what's working, right? That's the beautiful thing of this business. We get to see what's working, what's not working, how each agent adapts to the respective market, the different strategies that pertains to them as an individual, to their business. So it's exciting. And just want to provide a quick update to everyone joining us. We have what, three closings so far this week, three transactions.
Yep,
Uh,
this week, yeah.
so exciting, exciting. And today we have Sarah Ronians joining us. She's locally here in the Huntsville, Alabama market, which is my market, by the way, for those asking. Uh, it's my market. We have multiple agents in my market that are having tremendous success. So excited to have you on board, Sarah. And man, um, how's your day going today? Uh, You're on mute at the moment.
I'm so sorry.
No, no
It's
worries.
going great. It's going great, and it's great having you with me in the local market.
Awesome, awesome. So before we dive into some of the questions on what's working with you, can you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us about how
Yeah,
you got into the real estate space.
sure. I'm Sarah Runyons. I got into real estate after many years of being a teacher, and I really have loved being in real estate. But I guess like with any new business, just learning how to make the business work and all of that, there's a lot to it. So going from one profession into another, there was a learning curve.
Absolutely, and I can relate to some of that. I've been completely different industry before
Oh
real
yeah,
estate.
for
So
sure.
before you got into to Cloud Realty, uh, what was your business like?
Well, I would say inconsistent. I mean, I did have business and I did have uh, things going on, but I think as I was transitioning into something new, um, you get a lot of differing views and advice on what you should do to be successful in that business. And you find yourself, at least me, trying various things. And then, sometimes you get spread thin over too many different shiny objects trying to compete with your attention.
Yeah, absolutely. The shiny object syndrome. I hear that happening a lot. Uh,
Hmm.
what made you decide to look into Cloud Realty then?
Well, my mentor mentioned it to me, and I thought it sounded good, but I had reached a point where I really didn't like the idea of paying for leads. And at that point in time, that was kind of how the model was set up. And I just thought, I think I want to try these other things a little bit longer before I jump in. So I was reluctant. I will just say I was reluctant to jump in with cloud. Um, Probably because of the shiny object syndrome. Like if you pick several things and then you find yourself spread thin, I didn't want to do that to myself again. And I knew I already had some other things I was working on. So it took me a while to make the decision to go with cloud.
Gotcha. Did you try any other companies beforehand? Is that part of?
Well, I have tried. Yeah, I think that was part of my reluctance is I had tried some other similar sounding things. And I will just tell you right now, it's like night and day. I mean, it's not the same thing. It's not. Buying leads, like for example, on Realtor. Okay. I've never used Zillow, but what I liked about this initially, and the models changed slightly, is that cloud was incentivized for me to close. What other lead generation platform is incentivized for you to close? Like you pay your money to Zillow or Realtor. Do they really care if you close? They really don't. I don't think. What's in it for them if you close? It doesn't matter. They've already got your money, right? And that's what they are concerned with. So I felt like with cloud, it seemed that, I would be receiving some support, some community, and at the same time, leads that already raised their hand saying, I want to buy or sell a home. If you've ever called for sale by owner leads, expired leads, you almost need a dialer that's going to just do massive amounts of calls for you. And that sort of thing is difficult because you're getting no one on the phone more than half the time. It's just usually you're just calling. And so this is more of an attraction based model because there's marketing involved. And then your face is part of the marketing. So people kind of already know they're selecting you, to some extent. The you is the agent.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's attracting clients to you,
Mm-hmm.
your brand, your business. Not It's
Mm-hmm.
not just getting names of people out there and putting them in front of you. These are people
Right.
that saw you and want to talk to you about their home purchasing goal. And what's one of the first things that impressed you of the platform and the team around you?
Oh, wow. Well, just that you've got this cool CRM that's just kind of built right in with the system. So you're able to see all the leads that are coming through, even if they're not vetted. I can see the leads and I can also see what level they have, like how much input they've given. Pardon me, into the system. May have to get a sip of my tea here. But yeah,
Please.
hang on, give me just a second. But yeah, the that as well as the ISAs, the inside sales agents. So those agents are, I can see the communication that they have had with the leads through in the CRM, and I can go back and follow up. Additionally, the calls are recorded. So if I need to go back and maybe it was an ISA conversation that have not, I was not on that call, I can hear what that ISA said to the client and what the client said to the ISA. That gives me some background going in when I need to talk with the person.
Absolutely. And good thing you mentioned CRM. And I've talked to a number of agents that have been in the business for some time and don't have a CRM. How impactful has that been to you, having the CRM, like you mentioned, some of the
Oh,
features
well, I
within the
mean,
CRM?
I still use another CRM in addition to this CRM, but um, this CRM is extremely practical. It just ties seamlessly in with the leads. And it has so many great features because I can classify the leads according to their level of interest and where we think that they would, where they fall as far as, white hot, ready to go, or 6 months down the way, or, what level they are.
Awesome, awesome. And Can you walk us through one of the recent wins that you came through Cloud Realty?
Well, okay, a recent win, I would say, I made contact with some clients who, and by the way, I will just say I've made really good friends through the leads that I've made on here. And I think this goes back to they're kind of selecting me in a sense because I am part of the ad campaign. And your vibe attracts your tribe. So when you start attracting people that are interested in working with you to begin with, that helps because there are plenty of people that probably are not a good fit for me for one reason or another. Hey, I love everybody and I'm going to work with you no matter what. But I think that for other people, and I'm not going to have a problem with you either, but for some people, they're going to have a problem with me, and it doesn't matter what I do. So if that's you, then okay, find someone that you can work with. I'm going to be able to work with you. I think I can work with just about anybody. That's just my feeling. But it's always nice to work with people that resonate with me or that like me. And so anyway, but this couple, we ended up having some interesting things in common. And this is another thing, the small world. I mean, you start realizing, oh, we used to both live on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, that he was from Pass Christian. I'd lived in Goshen, Mississippi. We had these connections from our past that really kind of bonded us. And so this couple, we became friends. I mean, we've been out to dinner with my husband and with them together, and we're planning to do it again. So anyway, all that said to say, they needed me to help them find a house. Meanwhile, they needed to sell a house. So we started out, they wanted to look for the house first. They needed to get a bigger house. So we found that. Meanwhile, I'm getting their house ready to list. Their house is in a market that's a 60-day out market, and they would like to sell sooner. So we were able to list it a little bit. We listed it at the right price, and I really have a system of getting the right price for my clients for selling. And I do not take it lightly. To me, that is such a critical piece. And so we got it listed, but they wound up selling well above list price in 12 days instead of 60. They were so pleased, with how everything worked out. They were able to find a house with an amazing interest rate with way more space than they thought. They were so pleased. She's given me 20 stars on my reviews. Okay.
Nice.
Anyway, in addition, in one of the open houses, we had a client come in and her family was with her. I'm a mother of 3 daughters. This was a father with 3 daughters. And we really connected at the open house. Now I'm closing with that buyer on a purchase. And, all of these have happened in the past couple months, So, I mean, it's awesome. I'm loving it. Like, what wouldn't I love about this? And then I'm not having to have a robo dialer, because the system is already vetting those leads, getting everything through. And I like a reciprocal relationship. I feel like with Cloud, there's sort of a reciprocal relationship here. It's not one-sided, like with a lot of lead systems.
Absolutely. And I can say you've been doing great in communicating with the leads, communicating with us, with the team. And if I recall back on our first check-in call, you were just in a month within working with us, and you're like, yeah, I've seen some leads, had some communications, touch base, started building a report. And before we ended that call, one of the leads follow up with you, and you closed that deal at the beginning of the year. So
Yeah,
it goes to
that's true.
tell. It goes to tell
That's true.
how.
It was like I really wasn't expecting it, but within a month, I was closing on a lead that I got connected with in Cloud. And even with this platform, you have to be careful not to prejudge. I've heard Sean say this as well. Don't prejudge it. Hey, Sean, don't
Hey, I
prejudge a
just want to.
situation because you don't really know, how something's going to turn out. And I actually became good friends with that client as well, and we keep communicating with each other. Just really love that lady. And she was a single parent. Well, her kids are grown, but she wanted to buy a house, never had bought one. It was an amazing thing that we were able to help her with. Um, but she, anyway, I could go into that in a lot more detail that we have time for today, but just a wonderful, thing. So I love what I do as a realtor, and I really think cloud has just enhanced that, given me the opportunity to enjoy being a realtor. Hear those words. Enjoy selling real estate. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it goes to show, how great you are at building those relationships, right?
Oh,
And communicating. So that
well,
says a
thank
lot
you,
about you.
Andres. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and just
and you've been great. I love Andres as well. If I get a Spanish speaking client, I am. Oh, and this is the other thing. I can do a call through cloud to my business partners. So, like, if I need to get the lender on the phone, I'm like, hey, let's see if we can reach our lender. We call the lender, and that call's being recorded so the lender can go back and hear what was said prior to him coming on the call. And or if I have a client has broken English and they need a Spanish speaking agent, I'm like, listen, I've got a business partner here, Andres. I can call him and get him on the line. Oh, it's been so much fun listening to the translation. And I've been trying to do my Duolingo, and I am just not getting up to speed fast enough. And Andres is excellent at communicating with these Spanish speaking clients. So I appreciate you so much, Andres.
anytime, it's my pleasure. It's one of the cool features
Mhm.
that you can have multiple users acclimated to your account and be able to
Yeah,
communicate back and
yeah.
forth.
It's
So I thought that
awesome.
was great. Uh, just to wrap things up, any advice you would give to any new agents looking to start up with Cloud Realty?
Well, if you're looking at any sort of platform to help generate leads and um, you feel like you feel a little jaded, just don't let that influence your decision to use cloud, because it's not the same thing. It's just not.
Yeah, absolutely. Any final thoughts on what's next for you and how does Cloud Realty fit in your vision? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would, I'm interested in growing a team. I've got one agent on my team with EXP, and this is a great tool to be able to offer leads from for my clients and myself. So if there is a situation where maybe I'm going to be out of town, or maybe I need someone to partner with me because I've got something going on in life, that's taking my time up a little bit more, then I can do that, and we can work on these things together. I can add them to my platform, and they can help me with the leads as well. Or I can have another agent, even though Cloud has agents inside. Um, if I have a TC, a transaction coordinator, or anything like that, they can help me on the platform as well.
Absolutely. I think it makes a great tool. And like you said, any agents that you're helping or want to bring over to your team, a great platform to put in front of
Mhm.
them and help them
Yeah.
grow their business as well. Um, I think that's it. That we can wrap this up. I wanted to
Okay.
ask Sean, Kara, anyone on here if they had any questions they wanted to ask you
I,
before
Yeah.
we could wrap it up.
yes, I wanted to add something, Sarah. In the beginning, I remember you said, I felt like I got lucky. And, there's that quote, uh, sorry, I was getting a call from Russ. There's that quote that I remember hearing a long time ago. The harder I work, the luckier I get. So if you think I'm lucky, then call me lucky. Uh, so
That's
I
true. That's true. I think, though, the platform does a lot for you, but you've got to get into it, and it is fun to dig into. Um and I will say I'm more consistent at sometimes than others at going through everything, but I do try to consistently make sure that I'm vetting and going through and kind of reorganizing the leads and making sure I know And follow up. Yeah, that follow up is so key. And I will say this, my experience, if it's not been perfect, it's not because of the system, it's because of me. Because on occasion um, I can see where there are leads that I have not followed through with adequately, that they bought with someone else, and that was my fault for not following up. And maybe I wasn't the right person for that person either. Maybe they chose someone else for some reason because they didn't resonate with me, and that's okay too. But, I do kick myself at times with things that I look back on and I say, oh, I missed an opportunity there. So, but nothing is lost because we learn from it and then we build on
I love
that.
that. I love
I
that.
gotta I gotta give you credit there, Sarah, because you not always wait for things to happen. You make things happen. You reach out to those leads, you follow up, and in the process, you have to understand and learn that some opportunities may have been missed, but there's still others in there for you to get, and you
Absolutely.
are.
And I would say, like, I have always described myself as sort of a self-starter. Um, but if you join the platform, you can't expect it to do everything for you. Go in, it's like a little gold mine. Just go in and work it, and just until you can find things. Find those nuggets that are going to work out for you, and then it's so much better. I mean, we're in a people business. Okay, so we talk about numbers, we talk about making money and all of those things, but at the end of the day too, we're helping people get established in a home somewhere, and this is important work. I think it's very important. So if I didn't feel that way, I don't think I would like what I do so much.
Well said.
Well said. Sarah, I have just a couple questions for you, if that's okay.
Sure.
More more specifically about the the lessons. Like, uh, I know we've been kind of talking high level here. We talked about leads, but like when it comes down to like the conversations and the experience, how long have you been
I
licensed?
couldn't hear. Let me turn my volume up just a tad because somehow I'm not hearing you
Might-
fully.
It might also be me.
Okay, I got my volume up.
Okay. How long have you been licensed now?
9 years.
9 years. Okay.
Well, about 9 years. It's just barely. Yeah.
Okay. So in the last 12 months, um, working with these internet leads, and because you've tried a lot of other things, but specifically when you have a conversation, what was uniquely different, and what were some of like the things that you learned in having those conversations? Because, and I'll give you a little context. I've heard from some agents that our leads are excellent to test, like
Mm-hmm.
train on, uh, like real life examples of of communication without burning through your sphere of influence. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm
Well,
just curious if you could paint me kind
yeah.
of a picture. What did you learn?
Okay. I think that what you say is, we're condensing a process that could normally take a long time down to a shorter period of time because of all the systems in place. And so, yes, it is a very like what you get content wise on the calls is very like a textbook example of many times of what you should or shouldn't do. Um, the leads also are ready. You're not trying to harangue somebody into something. Like these are people that want to buy and sell or they want to do something. So you actually have a real estate conversation going on. And so for me personally, like when I guess the one thing I'm trying to work better at is when we get for example, a live transfer call, because that happens, if somebody calls in because of the ad and maybe the ISA says this person's ready to talk with Sarah and they put a call through to me, I might be making dinner. I might be babysitting my three grandsons, 5 and under. I don't know what I may be doing at that moment. But this is one thing, and I mentioned the other day, it's important as real estate agents that we take the call. We take the call, but we just need to figure out a system. And my family's used to it by now. They know what it means. Like, okay, and this is a good thing. Tell your family, okay, if I get a call from this number, just know it could be nothing, but it could be something. It could be something very important. So if you'll give me just a moment to come aside, and then they kind of like my husband will take over with the kids or whatever, and give me a chance to go into my office, take the call, get on the computer so I can pull up and see, what's going on with this client and what information's already been input. But be ready when that call comes in to listen in particular so that your response, you're not giving pre-scripted responses right away, like really hear them. Like, for example, one that I really missed out on recently was she had said she wanted new construction. What I heard was, oh, they're already going to buy a lot and they're looking for a builder and they don't need me. That was what I heard. But I should have listened closer because what they were, and I did address saying, well, these are the options. You can either do that or you can work with a builder that's already an existing builder. She wound up choosing a builder, one that not only have I worked with several times, but I currently have someone closing with a new construction with that builder. And I work with that builder closely. I'm even a sitter with that builder. Sometimes I will sit for agents for that builder. So I'm very familiar with that builder. And I'm like, wow, I could have helped you with that like so perfectly. But anyway, I lost it because I wasn't really hearing her, and my state of mind was not ready for or didn't do, I messed it up, I just messed it up. And I should have said something more along the lines of, asked her the right questions about what she had done so far with the builder. So I think it is key learning to ask good questions. There are a lot of good books out there. One that I can't think of the name of right now. But anyway, yeah, I'll look it up and I'll say it before the end of the meeting. On asking good questions, you just need to be thinking in terms of hearing what they're saying. If you're not sure what they're saying, clarify it. And Sean has mentioned this many times before. People often say things that are not really true. They're going to say it to get through the conversation. But if they have done everything necessary to get to the point to talking with me, they've seen an ad, they've filled out information saying they want more info on homes or whatever. It takes a lot for a person to do that in this day and age. People have become wise to filling things out online. And if they're going to go that far, then they're maybe more ready than they're letting on. So that's what I love about this platform is these people are pretty ready. You just have to listen carefully, ask the right questions, take some pauses, so you can hear what they're saying and make sure you understand it and then move in a measured fashion through the conversation.
That's absolutely well said. And I'm so happy. It is like such a pleasure to work with a professional who can see and identify improvements, the small hinges that swing big doors. Because in that moment, in that call, you only have 5 minutes with that person. And like Jordan Belfort says, you need to be sharp as a tack in that moment. And it can be mentally taxing having to always answer your phone. Well, Sarah, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your
The
journey.
book, Power Questions.
Power
Power Questions.
Power Questions, definitely gonna
Yeah,
get that
good book. Good, uh, really helpful with questions.
Outstanding.
one. Definitely gonna get that book. And Sarah, before we sign off, I actually want to leave you with a tactical tip here. When it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
to possibly missing a phone call. So I just put this this video, this reel on Instagram today, but I've been updating my voicemail. Have you ever called Russ Collier?
Oh, yeah. He does it every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I first called Russ, I'll just tell you, he might have been, I don't know where on the spectrum, like where I thought Russ was at that time several years ago. But when I called him and I got his voicemail, he went just a bar above, where I thought he was.
Okay.
And that, like, it gave me, I can't describe it, but a feeling.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I thought I want to replicate that feeling for other people who call me and get my
Okay.
voicemail. And
Okay.
so, if you have an iPhone, it's
Mine
super.
is Samsung because my husband's a software engineer and he will not buy something you can't program.
Um,
So we just
I'm
stick with
sorry.
Samsung.
We will all pray for you, Sarah.
Yeah, we're living
Hey, I
through
have a
it.
Samsung too.
All right. There you go.
But
But
that voicemail tip has saved me a lot of business because people call and I do miss calls if I'm on a Zoom call, and how it goes is it's Wednesday, July 16th, and you've reached the voicemail box of Sean Redinger, and I make some crazy something
yeah,
up, and then I mention that I'm either with my family or on a Zoom call with a real estate agent, um, and please leave me a text message or a voicemail, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Uh,
yeah,
and that I've split tested it because I know when people call me back, and I've had months where I didn't update it, and then I had months where I did update it. And the months that I did update it, people left voicemails, people sent text messages, and best of all, I got a bunch of compliments from people that never gave me a compliment before. Uh, and so these were complete strangers who said,
Mhm.
"Dude, love your voicemail. Hit me back up whenever you get a chance." Like really good stuff. So
Mhm.
I wanted to pass that to you guys.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean I've heard it, but I never thought about actually doing it. But you know what? I think
It's not
maybe
bad.
I will now. I like that idea. I'll give it a try.
No, because it really
Absolutely.
stinks missing a phone call. It's one of
Oh
those
yeah, no, for sure.
really
Yeah, and
easy.
that's another feature of the cloud system is, we've got AI options available that I'm starting to delve into a little bit that can help. It's one thing if you're plagiarizing or something, and I know in some fields it would be horrible to use AI, but others like marketing, I mean, come on, we're gonna have to use it. So,
All right.
Awesome.
all
Hey,
right.
Andres, let's end on time. Thank you again so much, Sarah. I
You're
really look,
welcome.
look forward to inviting you again after your next transaction. Um, Anything else to add, Andres, Sarah, Kara?
No, just wanted to, Sarah, thank you again for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to joining us here. What's Working Wednesday. Next week, we're going to have Christine Boyette. Uh, so she's going to be joining us out of California, I believe it is. And yeah, excited to hear what she has, her experiences, and what's working for her. And again, thank you for joining us today, and let's make it happen. What's Working Wednesdays.
All right. We'll see
All
you.
right, bye.